But let's talk about these tariffs and break down these new tariffs for us and the impact that they're having on industries and allies.
Yeah, so we got 4 new sets of tariffs, and these would all go into effect next Wednesday. That's October 1st. So I'll just sort of run you through them and then talk about the consumer impact. The first is a 100% tariff on imported pharmaceuticals into the country. Then you've got a 50% tariff on bathroom vanities and kitchen cabinets, 30% tariff on upholstered furniture, and 25% tariff on those heavy-duty trucks, those big rigs you mentioned. And I know probably folks at home are saying, well, if I don't drive a big rig, like that's not a big deal. But trucks, that is critical to how goods move through our supply chain. And so if you potentially increase the cost of that, it might trickle through to the everyday goods that we buy. But I want to zero in on the pharmaceutical piece because I think that's the most significant here. We get over $230 billion worth of pharmaceutical drugs imported into the country. That was the figure from 2024. And the industry has warned, this tariff was telegraphed, if you will, that this could cause higher prices for Americans, maybe higher insurance costs, as well as maybe losing access to some of those drugs or less access. I do want to emphasize, though, that the president is focusing on national security here and moving the production of those drugs, that supply chain, to the United States. And so there is a carve out in his announcement on True Social that if you are a drug company that is committed, that is currently breaking ground or constructing a new U.S. production facility, you will be exempt from those drugs, or rather from those tariffs. So that's sort of a thing to look at. We know Eli Lilly, Johnson & Johnson, a number of other drug companies have already made commitments of tens of billions of dollars. So it would follow, just based on that True Social post alone, that they might be exempt, those drugs and pharmaceuticals that we get from those companies. More broadly, though, Vlad, the bigger question I have is these are new tariffs. We also had all of those country deal tariffs that went into effect at the beginning of August. So is this going to be additive or is it going to be something else? That's something that we need more clarity.
All right. And Kelly, we got some new PCE data this morning, which is considering one of the Fed's preferred barometers for inflation. What are you hearing?
Good news. It only ticked up slightly from 2.6% to 2.7% annually. Sure, that is still moving away from the Fed's 2% target, but it does support their position to move to focus towards the labor market and cut interest rates like they did last week. But the investors that I'm talking to are saying, look, inflation is still stubborn or persistent. They don't like the direction that it's moving in, but at least it is not runaway as of now, Vlad.
Kelly O for us at the New York Stock Exchange. Kelly, always great to see you, my friend. Thank you. Have a nice weekend.